Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back once more to Anno 1800, looking at, a city in distress with the plague everywhere right now. And of course we want to tackle the problem a bit earlier than in my previous Let's Plays. I do have two hospitals right now active over here. Both of them are now fully operational, and we can go ahead now and I think build us another one right over there. I'm just going to copy me one of my main hospitals there, and we're going to just get it over here like this. And with that we cover now 3 districts of Panagos already with the hospital. There's a bit of an empty space here, but there's not that many people living in this region so far, and that means we have healthcare for everyone now. It's free healthcare in Panagos, by the way, so I'm paying the bills, kind of like we're paying 100 per hospital here per minute, so that's actually quite a lot, because it's adding up. Of course, it's 300 we pay now just for 3 hospitals. And in that case, people still are not that happy. As we can see, there's some riots here and there, but we have to live with that for the moment. Now, we have to also live with not that many building materials for the moment. So what I can do here is that, we are just focusing a bit on beautifying my city there. We have a bit of coin, right? The money is coming in, and I can use this to, just go ahead and build this, or just use these free spaces here that we have. Like, for example, I was totally intending to build me some fountains here in those areas, right? And I think it does look nice. And we're just going ahead here also with some flower beds left and right. So this is basically most of the ornaments that I have right now. Perhaps some elm trees there as well to offer some shade as well there in between, right? And I can just go ahead and take it like this, and then also copy it to the other spaces like that. Like this fountain area there, and I think we also have them over here a bit more. There it is, right? So I can just copy this one in once more, and also here. Each one of them costs me 400 construction costs, so that's not really that expensive, but it's adding a lot already to the city, right? So it's the details as always, and this is a basic early ornaments that we can use. We can also use this 2 times here, right? So with the 2 fountains in the center. Of course, it doesn't give that much, but it's a few details there really. Also, by adding some paved roads, this is getting upgraded a lot, right? So with some paved roads, then it's looking like a proper city really, where you can definitely enjoy the day in, right? If it weren't for the darn plagues and fires and riots and all that. But just ignore the problems and enjoy the beauty. Looking at the port in the meantime, there is another ship coming in here with 200 tons of rum. That's just nifty. It's a lot of alcohol for my place, and as we can see, it is needed as my people like to drink that. Whoopsie. As I can also see, we're getting a bit full there right away with just one of them. So I also should, with some building materials that I have, continue building now my depots, so we can go ahead and build them right here next to my shipyard. Thinking about the shipyard, I might also consider now purchasing one of the boys here, the ship of the lines. We were focusing a bit on defense right now, which is important of course, but I think also important is that we secure that channel over here to Eli. This is rather dangerous right now because there's lots of pirates in the region, and I definitely don't want to get my ships sunk all the time. So I do have 2 frigates, and just 3 more tons, and I'm probably going with the royal warship by the way. A bad message is happening in the meantime. Anne Harl and Princess Jing agreed to a peace treaty. That is actually a bit different now than a normal ceasefire, meaning that, first of all, they are no longer going to exploit each other with money demands, right? So the ceasefire usually costs you quite a bit. Also, they're having a permanent peace now, which is very hard to break, and that means that the pirate will probably now permanently disregard Princess Jing here and can focus more ships then into our territory. That we definitely should prepare with. Alright, we do have the weapons, 40 of them. Let's build us a royal warship finally. This is going to take some time. It's about 15 minutes, but it's a very powerful ship that's coming out. It's in fact the most powerful wooden ship that we can have, at least until the era of the steamships. And as this is taking its time now, we can continue focusing a bit on city building. I would like to go ahead with another expansion of Panagos. First of all, what we can always do when we have a few too many building materials is we can go ahead and upgrade a few people. I do have not that many bricks, in fact, so we might want to push that production up a bit. Let's just go ahead and have a few more artisans that we can push towards areas here. That was a pretty big upgrade here, coming to 2,300 artisans now. And then, of course, with the timber that we have, we can also go ahead and upgrade a few more farmers. And as we can see, this is already having quite the effect there once more on my workforce. Next up, we do have 4 clay deposits. As far as I know, we are using 2 of them for them. So this one here is being used, and I think right over there, we have another one unused, and there is actually already one of my main roads going up. That, and get us here another juicy brick factory on the way. Actually, just a clay pit, of course, because the bricks are being produced in somewhere else entirely. I don't want to have factories plastered all over my main island, so we're rather just focusing them into one area, and that's the heavy industry area that we have over here. We already have some brick factories in this area, so I can just go ahead now and build me a few more. Just for the heck of it, let's go ahead and make it like so. You make the main road over there so it looks proper, and then have the brick factories. And since I have another clay deposit, we can still build 2 more in blueprint, right? And then we are full. And then we have used all the clay pits that we have in Anno. Also another warehouse, just to make this area here more completed, that is. Alright, also, that is the bricks. I would also like to go ahead and go the iron away. So I want to push more into iron production. I'm using around, we can quickly check it out really. I'm using 4 iron mines right now. That leads me to a production of 16 in total. The demand is at 14, so we have still 2 that we can use, right? So 2 per minute. That means 1 more furnace. And I think with the coal, it's looking much different there. Yeah, also we have a surplus of coal. That means I can definitely just build me another furnace now, without anything else that I need attached to it. And as we can see, it is getting a bit full here, but there should still be room for a furnace. And there you go, having a bit of space. We should probably also upgrade that warehouse here right away for this furnace, because there's going to be, of course, more traffic now back and forth. Speaking about upgrades, oh wait a second, one of my ships is under attack. Another clipper coming in with the cotton. No, I think we're good here for the moment. Let's go ahead and, speaking about upgrades, upgrade our main trading post over there. So a proper city needs a proper trading post. The next upgrade gives me another 100 tons of storage and also a loading ramp. And since this is quite a busy harbor by now, we definitely can need this loading ramp. As we can see, all 4 of them are being used right now. And of course, it's a proper building. Another level up, also level 39 coming out of that. And with that, a bit more influence. We're swimming in influence right now. That's the intention, of course, because we want to build up some proper defenses and ships or navy there as well. It's still going to take a while here for my warship, so nothing I need to do there. Let's also go ahead and build us some more depots. We have around 450 maximum storage right now. Sounds good. It's also time, since we do have the money, to finally work on these main roads that we have, because after all, it gets a bit confusing, right? And with that, as we can see, we do have a proper big road now, and that's right over here. That goes then all the way to the core, or to the center of the island. And we can also continue down this road here, finishing that one. Well, you know, this one already almost finished. That goes then all the way to the tourism port that we. Again, we will need to move some of those buildings then around. Well, let's have the fire station here. That should do. And we just have this one. And that leads to a massive, bigger crossroad here now. Have then. And since this is looking a bit naked right now, what we can also do is expand the city itself. So another district should come in handy. But that we, once again, and for the last time, will move my potato farms. Right, so it's getting a bit annoying. We have to move them away again and again. But of course, potatoes are not going to last forever anymore. I'm just going to have them, somewhere over here most likely. I think here we could actually nicely. Nope, there would be a lot of problems there. I can get rid of this road here though. Not really required, as far as I can see. And then we also have our timber production, right? not be. And moving that much definitely also tanks the performance of my PC. And let's just see, this should be fine. Yep, as far as I can see, we're only losing a few fields over there. That's fine. I love the mass moving of stuff. It's beautiful. That wasn't possible like a year ago. We need to fix that a bit here, and with that, I think one of these here, this one is not having the maximum capacity. Here we need to make some adjustments, right? So this one and this one here also needs. We can easily do this by just taking this whole corridor that we have there and getting them all the way down here. And there you go, in the shade of the night, under the moonlight, we have finished it, and all of them have now the maximum number. Again, not much problem. Why is this one not having a... And I wonder... This one is going all... Oh, look at that, it's this tiny patch here that is missing. And with that, we do have no problem anymore, and they have their final connection. And with that, the agricultural districts are moving now a bit further away from the city, leaving more room here to grow again. Now, we also have this industry zone here still, right? That is still in the making. And I would probably expand it a bit further than over here still, but that's the end of that, right? So not industry forever. So this can still be industry here as far as I'm concerned. Here I would like to extend them though more and more. Let's have another double road there to make the separation visually completed. There's also then here this triple road that's going to be for a electrical power plant that we can have. And as always, I would also like to separate my tracks there a bit further than with the trains. So I do need to make sure that we have a bit of space then here along the cliffs, right? So this massive window production, we probably will make room here on the sides for trains to pass, able to pass. At least one tile, 2 tiles would be better. Very good, so that's coming along, and with that we have this area available. Now once again, I could just go ahead and copy now, so selling soap is probably not that important to us anymore, but I think we have 200 tons available, so let's go ahead and sell us some 150 tons of that to Eli. That's not a lot of coming in there. We're full on rum anyway. Let's just get this little convoy over there to Eli and try to make this. There will be some slaughtering here now. I hope it's not on my side that we're losing those ships. So ship ahoy, there we are. Eli is not really far away, but the journey is still very dangerous to him. We need to be extremely careful. Because the pirate likes to gather his ships rather quickly, or her ships. Right now, it's clear. There's also quest of E. A destruction quest with a gunboat. Where is it? It's really right next to him, right? There it is. Could destroy them. Let's sell the soap and destroy this gunboat here. Oh no, it's running off. It's a prison breakout. Let's sell the soap. That's 60,000 credits coming in here. Perfect. And yeah, this ship is probably getting lost here now. I mean, my frigates could make a good game of it. They should be faster. Get the clipper back home. While my warships chase it, but it's a very fast gunboat. It's going to be almost impossible to catch it. Especially with all the pirates close by. Yeah, let's actually break off the chase for a bit of money. It's not worth it, risking my ships, and get back home again. Now, very important to keep in mind, whenever we send some warships out there, the pirate immediately gets alerted, and as we can see, he's or she's gathering the fleet, right? So putting them into bulks and no longer coming at us one by one. So this is going to make things a bit harsh. She's seen that we have those ships coming out of our harbor area and immediately sent them to us, right? this is the tricky part with the pirate. We can continue trying to do some diplomacy. I'm really not out of my way here to get the 1000 credits to her for a near certain chance. So I'm trying to do my flattery there for now. The pirates do like that from time to time, but as long as my military score is lower than theirs, it's going to be hard. So what we need to do here too is increasing that military score, and that means more cannon towers especially. This in return, once again, though, means more weapon production. Now my steel surplus is at 3. We also need to keep in mind that we do need the sewing machines from time to time, so getting us another sewing machine factory out now makes sense to me, so let's build this one more over there. But can you also use the additional surplus that we have to boost my weapons? And for that, first of all, I need to find them. So there is my weapon production just here. And let's go ahead and build us 2 more weapon factories over here. All right. This should lower my demand. I think we actually might have now a deficit. Yes, by 1, which is fine. We can still build 1 more furnace. There you go. With that, we have equaled that out again to +1. However, I think for the iron ore, yep. For the coal is fine, but we do need another iron mine with that. Lucky us, in Panagos we have a lot of iron still. Up there is another deposit, so I can go into the mountains there once more. We already have an iron mine over there, and I'm just going to add now another one then into this area. There's a coal and an iron mine, and you know what, let's just build that coal as well, because I rather play safe, and it's really dirt cheap at this point getting those mines out. And with that, have secured once again the supply. For more furnaces, we probably will need to restructure a bit of here, but for now it's fine. Now we are sitting at 37 bricks. That's really not a lot, despite my 6 brick factories working already full time. And that means I would like to secure now my last clay deposit as well that we have in Panagos. I'm going over here now with another bridge into this region. And we are then just going to have, once again, a clay deposit here that we can now exploit, or a clay pit. And this one now supplies my last 2 brick factories that we have in this region. So finish that warehouse there. And with that, all is well. We are producing now a total of 12 bricks per minute. That's really not that much if you take it into consideration. But it's all we can do for now, right? We do need those bricks anyway. Now, speaking about bricks, we need them also for some upgrades. Not for the farmers, really. So what we can also do now here is, first of all, yes, I would like to check out my city services. We have a few chapels, as you can see. They're actually pretty important to get that happiness up, right? So I definitely do need to see another chapel here. So let's get rid of this house there, and another chapel here. So let's break it up there a bit and build us those chapels there. 16 happiness on the farmers is fine, but it could be better. So let's go ahead, have us 2 more chapels than just here. What I really like actually is, you know what, let's move the chapel over there a bit and have a bit of a garden then in the background here, right? So it's really just a temperate grove, probably with some grass in between, some patches of grass, because this makes sense to me to have that behind a bit of a chapel garden, you might say. There's no cemetery yet, but it's getting there probably at some point. And as we can see, this actually was enough to push them to happy population already with +19. Plus those chapels are just looking adorable, and I just love to get them over there. As a new day, a new rainy day is dawning. And really they add flavor to the city with the fat priest in front of it. It's also a gathering spot for the faithful. Now, after having received now quite a bit of bricks, we're finally ready to jump into a new adventure, and that is of course the Docklands. Finally, with the artisans we have unlocked them, and they're pretty important for us, and they're going to play a vital role to our economy since we can't settle on too many islands. And I would like to go ahead and, well, it's probably not going to look the most or the best right now, but I think we can just plant them out somewhere here, along the depots that we have there for the moment. Another Docklands, yeah, well, that's a multi-module building that you can have, and it's going to be massive at some point, right? So we have a bunch of modules available here to us. Each one of them has a different bonuses that we can use them, especially also the pier. With the Docklands, we have now a second pier in itself, but of course, most important is then that we can finally start the export and import trade, and that is exactly what we're doing here. Now, as we know by now, we do have a huge bunch of soap available that I could sell to Eli, but we could also use them to export at the Docklands. The same goes with the sewing machines. My first real good is how that we could do here is the first that I'm aiming towards, right? But for the first, we do need 2,070 tons of exported goods first. That's a lot. It could be any good really, but of course it might make sense to push towards the goods that we need right now, and that is the soap. I think for the sewing machines, we haven't unlocked them straight away. So there is also something here. We do need to import 1,500 cotton first. And for the cotton, let's check it out quickly. We do need to have export and import of 20. So this has changed quite a bit. It's going to make things a bit harder for us. Let's go ahead and start though with the soap trade as always, that we need as our very first thing here, and this is where we are going to export things then as well. In this huge list, let's go ahead and choose the soap, and we don't need to choose something to import. It could be anything really. Of course, something like potatoes would make sense, so we don't need potato farms anymore. So we could actually go ahead with this. And as I can see, for 100 soap, we do get 330 potatoes out of that. Alright, now while the Docklands is starting to work now slowly but steadily, we can go ahead now and push the soap production a bit further up. So the next export is going to happen in 12 minutes and 13 minutes, and until then we should probably have some things done. So for that, we can go ahead and build us 2 more fish farms, or fish. Who am I kidding here? I do need some coffee. We do need to build some pig farms, of course. That's not enough though. I'm going ahead and I'm going to finish 4 of them right away. And we can actually also in another one here to finish actually 5 of them in total. Let's also build us another warehouse out of that. With those, we can build some, yeah, well, actually, I think it is 4 more rendering works. Let's build 2 more. Let's go ahead and have us those 4 here right now, and with that we can have 2 more soap factories, leading to another 4 soap per minute boost, which is going to around about up to 80 surplus of soap that we have for each trade. With the 2 that we have already, we can now afford those 100 tons of export every 20 minutes. That's the important thing here. So I'm not using money out of that anymore, because we are not really depending on that much money all the time. Also, it's a bit too risky for me at this point, so I'm just not going to add to that. Now with that, the Docklands is starting. It's a beautiful building, don't get me wrong, and it's only going to get more beautiful now over time, and this is a new foundation really here for my economy. Now with that out of the way, finally, it was a pretty huge investment here that we had. Let's also go ahead and upgrade some of those warehouses here, as the industry zone is getting a bit busier now, and I just love how the sun is shining through the fumes. You can see the sun rays there on the ground, beautiful, and dirty that is as well, of course. Yeah, well, also what we should be doing is another hops plantations here. Let's get 3 on the way. That's a lot of new jobs for my totally good farmers that we have. Another malt house is coming in, 2 more grain farms as well. It's going to distribute itself there over as well, and with that we can build at least 2 more breweries. I'm probably going to add a 3rd one to the breweries. Don't really add unattractiveness, so this is something we can afford quite easily, and this should ramp it up for my beer again. Yep, to a surplus of 2. That's exactly what I would like to see for the moment. And with that, we have 500 tons of timber available. Let's go ahead and just get us a few more workers out there. Whoop-de-doo. That's quite the expansion. That's a lot of additional beer consumption, by the way, coming out there. Not that many plagues, I'm happy to report. And I could also just upgrade this row here. With that, we have almost now completed a full upgraded avenue from one beach area to the other one, right? So this is another important city development step forward. as also, once again, a new day is dawning on the dirty streets of Panagos. Now, let's also just quickly check it out. We have some ornaments of open here. So we do have this one there. And once again, we are still relying on the basic fountain model there, right? So we can just design into these areas here, providing some nice areas for my people. And here, for example, then also some elm trees. Ironically, those elm trees are more expensive than a fountain, but that's okay. They're just as important. There is actually a bigger spot available. Do I have a fountain for that area? I don't think so. No, we really don't. I do have something in the DLC area there as well. So this is something that you get from DLC. You also have the classic ones that are unlocking with the population themselves. But as we can see, yeah, the palace one we have, I think this is the proper one. 400 it costs, that's fine. There is also, just beside the beautifying of the town, right, there's also another very tangible result that we get out of these fountains, and that is they're adding attractiveness bonuses to my city. And we don't need that. We are a quaint city at the moment, and having all these pig farms is not beneficial. They're actually hurting my attractiveness, and the lower the attractiveness, the unhappy my people will get, and that's something I really can't afford. So let's also add just some of those fountains here more. There is another one of these that we can add. And it's a tiny bit, but it's adding up over time, right? Since it doesn't really cost me that much. And adding trees is always a very good addition here to the city. Adding those avenues, alleys that we have with some shady elm trees, for example. Over there? I mean, probably shouldn't say some beautiful green, lush elm trees that we have. And once again, there's also the area there, and we can also just copy the whole thing and automatically upgrade the road. So many quality of life features added to this game over time. It's fantastic. Panagos continues to grow. There's more beer coming in now. We now need to work towards a bit of fur. So for that, I will need to settle on one of the other islands because we don't have fur on Panagos, nor can I unlock fur just yet in the Dockland. So this is going to be a big step because we do need to fight the pirate along the way and need to work towards a proper protection on this island. And that is where the additional weapon production that we just started now is coming in handily as well. But that for the next episode. Stay tuned.